Hey, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing another subscriber suggestion, which recently I put on my YouTube poll as to which project I should approach first. It was between Sad Songs in a Hotel Room by Joshua Bassett and the extended version of an EP I listened to earlier by Kelsea Ballerini, which is Rolling Up the Welcome Mat. And she released a new song and two variant versions of songs that I've heard. So since I did make an entire, I think like 30-minute video on this EP a little bit before, I'm not gonna really listen to the songs that haven't changed or I've heard before. So that being said, the new music that we're gonna get into today is there is a Penthouse healed version, which I have not heard and I don't know what that means. The interlude song I did listen to, but now there's a full version, so we'll get into that one. Blindsided has an extended version, the Yeah Sure Okay version. I think I know about that version because I made a follow-up to the Rolling Up the Welcome Mat and I watched her SNL performance and she did do that. So I have a feeling that's probably what it is, but I'll still listen to it just in case if there's something new. And then there's one completely new track which is titled How Do I Do This? So in total we'll be listening to 4 of the 7, pretty much the entire EP again, but I just wanted to mention that, you know, I'm not listening to the whole project, so if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on the earlier part of the video, you can watch the older video. I'll try to link it some sort of way. Just be aware, it was like 6 months ago, which I know isn't that long ago, but I have a camera now. I was recording on my iPhone. It's very obvious that I was recording on my iPhone, so just know there might not be, I am not saying this is a great quality, but this is a step up. So if you haven't seen my videos before, you're gonna be in for a treat to see like what they look like before. But all of that out of the way, let's just get straight into it. First up is track 3, Penthouse, healed version, and it's a live performance actually. And I do remember the song pretty well. I listen to it sometimes. No, I listen to Blindsided.
After we said I do, we watched cars of bachelorettes, 2 a.m. cigarettes, and traffic headed downtown. And the interstate was so loud, there was a lot it had to drown out.
She sounds great live. I wonder if this is from like a concert of hers.
We were never there on the weekends, baby.
Something I can already tell is, I know it's been a little while since I've listened to this project in total, but you can hear the confidence in that voice and what she's saying here. I would assume, I haven't heard, I don't think, what the healed version of this is, but I would assume that this project becomes cathartic, and I think when she made this EP, you know, it was trying to hash out the feelings of maybe getting divorced, and considering, like I said, it has healed in the title, I would assume that maybe she's come to terms and realizing that, you know, all of this was for the best. But her vocals sound great. But so far I don't see anything noticeably different from the song.
The house with a fence, enough room for some kids, a backyard for dibs, and I thought that would make it all better, and maybe forever. Feel like the walls closing in. Cause how does that even make sense? Now that I think about it, it never did.
I also feel like that's such a feeling that you don't see talked about a lot in music, or at least the music that I've listened to and my experiences with music. It's just, I say this in a couple videos if you've seen my videos before, I really love when someone can give us a universal feeling but in such a specific way. And this is one of those songs where, you know, it's describing the feeling of growing apart from someone, and then how, yeah, I would say nature takes its course in some sort of way with a relationship that might be on its way out. But it's also such a hard feeling to have when, like, you're almost writing a song about a breakup before it's even happened. And that's what's interesting to me. It's like seeing it unravel in real time. And I'm not saying I'm like happy to hear about her pain, of course. I just mean like, it just doesn't feel like it gets talked about in this way, and how it really shows how many, you know, I feel like a common thing is getting married young, and she's just showing her experience with that. And I really enjoyed it. So good, so good. I also just like keep going back to the lyrics, but it's just like seeing how someone can, you know, pretend like everything's fine just to save a relationship. And I would argue that that just shows how much you really did try to make something work. And I feel like that is definitely something that's echoed throughout this project, but songs like this really shows that, because it's like you're willing to even, a lot of people might coast because they made a commitment with someone, which teach its own. But you know, maybe these people all knew that this relationship was over, but just tried so hard to ignore their issues because, you know, they felt like they made a real decision, and they kind of want to, like Olivia Rodrigo's song Making the Bed, it's the decisions that you made, so they're kind of trying to deal with it, but at the same time they know that this is obviously not a long-term fix for something. But I don't know if the healed version is just her having that confidence that I mentioned, or if there's something different in the song. Oh, I remember this part. I was like, wow. That part, I remember being like, wow, she really went there with that one. Crowd's hyped for that. I knew that would have been a moment, because I was exactly like that when I heard it for the first time. Was that different? Wait. Yeah. In the song it says, I kissed someone, whatever, and did you hate me? And now I don't care where you're sleeping. So that shows, because the song was saying like we were never there on the weekends. So, you know, they were never around each other. Now she maybe used to lie awake wondering where this person was. I'm pretty sure that's what the Mountain with the View song was also about. It's like they're always just on opposite ends of the globe. And now I don't care where you're sleeping. It's like, I guess she's okay with moving on. That's what I would assume that it is, and that would portray a healed version to me. Okay, yeah, that's the healed part, definitely. I wonder what made her decide to do this one as a live song, though. I really enjoy it, but it's the only one like that, I think.
I just bought the house that we saw. We said it was wrong. But I wanted it all.
Ooh. Final nail in the coffin there. Was that like a 15-second note? Holy, wow. That was incredible. I just said I wonder why she made a live performance. Well, I guess when you got the vocals, just do it. Alright, so that was the live version of Penthouse, the healed version. I like the live version because it really showcased her vocals, which is something that I have not heard much of in my music experience with her. I get why it had the live version because that's what added the content to me. I do think that there was a couple lyric changes, but maybe not enough for me to be like, wow, that was so staggeringly different. But I think the live performance really sold it for me, so I really enjoyed this one. I think it's a nice addition to kind of bring back into this album. Next up is track 4, which is Interlude, and it is a full-length song. I don't remember exactly actually how long the original one was. The original one was actually only 45 seconds, so this is actually a pretty extended version. And this one I don't remember all that much from it, to be honest, so.
There's a thin line between love and hate, and it was love, but it wasn't fate. Now my mama's asking if I'm okay.
Oh, I do remember this a little bit now.
Supposed to play out. So which side are you gonna take now? Cause people that I loved are just people that I knew once. The rumors going around, but the truth is kinda nuanced. I wanna set it straight, but my lawyer says I shouldn't.
I remember she was in like a hot tub when she did this one.
Ain't it like this town to only criticize a woman? Am I right? Cause hindsight says I was right.
Ooh, I would assume that that's a newer lyric because we're almost to the 45-second mark, and it said, ain't it like a town to criticize only a woman? Am I right? Because hindsight says I was. I would assume that the hindsight lyric would be months after the album was released and she could extend the song.
Only criticize a woman. Am I right? Because hindsight says I was right. Must have hit a nerve. Damn, people got offended. Kinda scary, opening a room the time and mended. But everyone wanted the end.
But everyone wanted the interlude to be extended.
Guess I gotta send it.
It's very like not country, and that's what I think is interesting about this song because she's doing it pretty effortlessly in my opinion. When she said something about being mended, I wonder if that's about the response songs that I know her now ex-husband was making in the midst of all this. I don't know if it was a comment or maybe I learned this myself, but someone said that this whole rolling up her EP was actually in response to a song because he started making music about the situation before she even did, which was, I guess, more of a surprise thinking that, you know, she's the more famous, you know, singer, and she only made this because he was kind of airing their dirty laundry, I think. See, like, which side are you gonna take now wasn't supposed to be a takedown. Maybe that's on both sides. Maybe they're realizing that maybe they should have kept all this private. But she's saying that she's the only one that really gets the scrutiny for it. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what I just said. It's like, you know, no matter who started it, they're both finishing it. I told you mine, so in location. Oh, okay, so she's saying that this person went around talking and calling her certain names and maybe accusing her of things. I don't know exactly, I don't know the lore. I say lore, but I don't know the real situation here, but... I love that lyric. You buried the bone. What did it say? You collected the bones, but I buried the bodies. I feel like that's, again, exactly what I just said. He was the one that started the conversation, and she's like, I'm gonna put it to bed. I'm gonna bury that body and just actually put you in your place here.
Bones, but I buried the bodies. All this back and forth, well, it's feeling pretty sloppy. Pace copy.
Okay, that was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm being even more now. A few months later, I'm blowing up my life, but I'm standing by the crater.
Ooh, I remember that actual lyric because she said that she was blowing her life up. I think it blew her life up in a good way because I feel like she got a lot of, I don't want to say publicity because she obviously went through a hard time, but I think this was really good for her career. And she's blowing it up again by following up and giving more insight into the situation, so I could see her feeling like she's blowing it up again.
Say you can love her, you can hate her. Cause 23 me now, I know. Happy ever after ain't always true. Sometimes that's how it goes. was just the interlude.
Alright, so that was Interlude, the full-length version. Another one that I think that was pretty interesting, I really like the production value on this one. I guess my only thing was it felt like, and people did ask her to extend it, so honestly I would say that the first version probably has more of the story that she wanted to tell with it. I think she made this out of fan service, to be honest, because it looked like it had a lot more one-liners or just like, I'm not sure how much it added to the song, so I think I liked the shorter version better, but I think it was very fun to listen to just to kind of get the more insight, and the one-liners were good, but I just feel like the story that she wanted to tell probably was said better in the 45-second version, but regardless, I definitely thought that was pretty fun. Next up is Blindsided, Yeah Sure Okay. This is my favorite song from the EP. I know a lot of the song, a lot of the lyrics, so let's just get straight into this one. I still think about someone hearing the song knowing it's about them and saying, "Are you just blindsided or just blind?" Because it's such a smart way of just saying like, you want to play the victim, but like, and then I think there's a part in the song where, well, we'll get to it, but she calls out like, "Babe, we were in therapy. How did you not know there was a problem?" Oh, right here. Sitting across from me in therapy. Which is also another reason why I think they did have love in that relationship at one point, just because, again, they're both still going through the motions for what seemed like a long time. Such a red flag. Such a red flag. And I think I even said that in my video. Or were you just blind? I wonder if that was an interesting point, because she said that she didn't want a family. Everyone obviously is to each their own, and I feel like that is something that you should probably talk about in a marriage, because that is, like, you know, it's a pivotal part of people's lives. But I didn't want a family. It only makes you think, and this may be an invasive thing to say, but makes you wonder if, like, you not wanting that maybe kind of told you that, you know, like, you had been both of you had been ignoring those problems in the relationship by being blindsided or just going through the motions of the relationship. But at its core, she maybe knew that, you know, obviously a kid is a big decision, and like, maybe the truth behind not wanting a family was because it was the wrong person. And if she doesn't want that with any other person, that's obviously a choice too, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it makes me wonder if, like, you know, was it just the wrong person? Oh, and this song definitely had all the receipts. I remember this.
In 2019, before that big show, we had a big fight. I slept on the couch, and then the next night, you put on
going through the motions.
put on a smile and sing about how it's okay to cry, dying inside. Now you say that you lost, and that's lost on me.
I forgot how, like, I didn't forget, but it's such a raw project. I love that lyric too. I kind of wish at one point she would say, "No, I know you were just blind." Like, don't ask the question anymore, just say like, "No, you were." I don't know if I remember that part. I like the lyrics in real time because it helps me be like, I know it. Ooh, I do remember that. That was in the SNL performance. But it goes back to the, you could write all these songs saying how, like, I'm the perfect person, but like, all those times in therapy or when we were trying to save this marriage, where was that energy?
Search the whole world over.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Now you're singing it loud on the radio, like You're the only heart that breaks. You would have searched the whole world over.
Yeah, sure, okay. Mic drop moment, love that. That was the Blindsided Yeah, Sure, Okay version. Like I said, I think I have heard this before. So it's not entirely new, but I definitely like that version better. It's such a subtle ad, but completes the song to me. So I definitely think that this is it's not that different, but it's a version I would prefer, to be honest. And then now we're gonna get into an entirely new song, which is titled How Do I Do This? Which I thought Leave Me Again was a pretty good ending, so I'm curious of like how we're gonna change the ending to this EP. Text tone.
They say to get out with the old, you get in with the new. And I haven't been on a date since I was 22.
Oh, all right, Taylor's 22. Watch out, you've got competition.
Friend has a friend and they say they're my type. And then they texted me once, and then they texted me twice, saying, are you free Saturday? I know a spot. So I typed out a couple million ways to respond.
This type of talking music sounds a little bit like, there was a Sabrina Carpenter song where she's like, coffee shop, Janet's being Janet. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but you probably don't. But it reminds me of that.
But I've been away, yes. Shit. So where the hell's my dress?
So I guess she's talking about like going on a date with someone.
Looks in the mirror, tell myself I got this, but I'm back in the beginning again and now. So if I'm honest.
Oh, so I guess it's like kind of trying to reclaim your confidence because she did get married very young, and she said the last time she was on a date was she was 22. So I don't know how old she is right now, but I would assume maybe like 30. So like she's like, I didn't have anyone to impress, and maybe that sounds wrong. I don't mean it like that, but like. She never had to worry about these things, and suddenly you're back into a mindset of like, oh my god, I'm about to be judged.
I'm scared of looking stupid.
Ooh.
I'm ready now, I gotta prove it. Got a little bag 'cause I wanna use it and maybe lose it. On the floor that ain't mine. I think it's probably time to keep it moving. I talk a big game that I'm scared of losing.
Ooh, I wonder if that's like, you know, when you do break up with someone and you've been saying like, no, I'm ready to move on, all these things, and your friends are like, prove it. So then you kind of like, I talk a big game, but I'm scared of losing. It's like, I believe I'm ready, but like when it comes down to it, you get that anxiety of like, am I ready for this?
Everything I know about love is ruined. It's so
Oh, that's true too.
so
Even outside of like just going on a date with someone new, like you now have a different perspective on love than you ever had before. So now you might be approaching these situations in a much different way than you probably approached it at 22, just because your life has so drastically changed. So I get the whole question of how do I do this? It's like there's no clear rule book ever, but especially when you're coming out of a situation where now you're just questioning every decision you ever made, has to be a hard thing to do.
I'm still feeling blue. And will they bring up the elephant in the room? Yeah, what I've been leaning at the end of the night. What if it's feeling right? What if it's too good to be true? I'm scared of looking stupid.
It's like all of the anxiety all at once.
Ready now, I gotta prove it. Got a little bag 'cause I wanna use it and maybe lose it. On the floor that ain't mine. I think it's probably time to keep it moving. I talk a big game that I'm scared of losing. Everything I know about love is ruined. It's so
I have thoughts, but I definitely think this was a perfect ending to this album.
confusing. So
I really like it.
how do I do this? You said they picked me up at 7. It's 6:52. And I know who I am, but what the fuck do I do? I'm scared of looking stupid.
You're asking all the right questions that no one knows the answer to.
Said I'm ready now, I gotta prove it. Got a little bag 'cause I wanna use it and maybe lose it. On the floor that ain't mine. I think it's probably time to keep it moving. I talk a big game that I'm scared of losing. Everything I know about love is ruined. It's so confusing. So how do I do this? I'm calling Kelly for a talk. Like, is it wrong to take a shot? I'm freaking
Kelly
out
had to
like
talk
oh
her
my
down
God.
off that ledge. I know she did.
'Cause now it's 7 on the dot.
Alright, so that was the last track, which is How Do I Do This? Like I mentioned a couple seconds ago, I definitely think this is a perfect addition to this follow-up version of the album. I could see how it wouldn't work on the original one because I feel like the original version of this EP was to get her feelings out and is trying to process the divorce. I feel like maybe when she released the original version, she wasn't ready to move on, and seeing that this is like essentially the healed version and multiple songs and how she's extending these versions to show that she is in a better place than what she was when she made this, that this song really kind of encapsulates that. It's like, you know, Leave Me Again, from what I remember, is like she's never going to let a relationship change her or like lose the core values that she's always had for herself, but now that she's come to that realization, she's ready to put herself back out there with that new perspective that she even mentioned in How Do I Do This, in the sense of like, you know, she has a different perspective on love, and I feel like she maybe even has a different perspective on love about herself, so maybe that'll lead her in the right directions when it comes to approaching new relationships. But that was my thoughts on the project overall. Let me know what you think of the new additions. Let me know if you like some of the additions. If you don't think they belong, let me know just what you think. But thank you so much, and I'll see you in our next video.